Hello and welcome to the Vault of Truth YouTube channel. This is Flat Earth Proof 155, the cosmological lithium shortage. So here yet again we have another major problem with the globe Earth cosmos. We have covered so many of these problems at this point that I have lost count. So let's take a look at this article from Astronomy Now, posted in March 2025, where they talk about the lithium problem. So they say here, one of the most significant challenges to the Big Bang hypothesis that emerged recently concerns the abundance of the element lithium. Lithium abundance is a cornerstone prediction of the Big Bang theory. If the universe had once been extremely dense and hot, fusion reactions within such conditions would have produced a specific, albeit small, amount of lithium. This limited amount is due to the fact that most lithium would have been consumed in subsequent fusion reactions. According to the theory, we should find roughly 5 lithium atoms for every 10 billion hydrogen atoms, a tiny fraction but still detectable. However, for decades, astronomers have known that this prediction presents a substantial problem. Wow, you think? Especially when you combine this with the dozens of other massively huge problems with the Big Bang model that have also been known for decades, but you guys still won't throw the model out yet? They then go on to say, through spectroscopic analysis, and for people that don't know, spectroscopy is a method of identifying elements based on their specific and unique light emission pattern in the light spectrum. Of course, how reliable really is that method if we're talking about celestial objects that are potentially behind several barriers or firmaments and regions of different energies that could be affecting and altering those light emissions? But that's a whole nother discussion for another time. All right, moving on. We can measure the lithium content in the outer atmospheres of stars by examining a star's iron content, since iron can only be produced in supernova explosions, which of course is just another big assumption they throw in there because it's based off of their model. And of course their model can't be wrong. We can approximate its age. And again, all of that is based on the globe Earth concept that stars are big fusion reactors that produce heavier and heavier elements as they die and are reborn in gas clouds that have heavier elements in them. And of course, all that being built off of the Big Bang model, etc., etc. So it's just assumptions based on assumptions based on assumptions. But that's okay. We're analyzing this through the lens of their model because they are debunking themselves here, even using their own logic. The fewer supernovae that have occurred, the older the star likely is. Consequently, stars with low iron content formed earlier in the Milky Way's history. Here's the issue. Stars with lower iron content consistently show far less lithium than the Big Bang hypothesis predicts. Uh-oh. Wow, that is a problem. Hey, I have a question for all of the mainstream scientists out there. What aspects of the Big Bang model or the expanding globe Earth universe actually got any predictions correct? As iron levels decrease, lithium levels also plummet from about a quarter of the predicted amount at medium iron levels to less than 1/20th at extremely low iron levels. 1/20th. So basically they're saying that their observations disagree with predictions by up to 95%. So it's way off, just like we've seen with many other cosmological issues that we've looked at in some of my previous proofs. This disparity has long been known as the lithium problem, one of the many challenges to the Big Bang theory. Yeah, you can take the word many there, put it in bold, all capital letters underlined and highlighted. Then they give us a chart here showing the element abundance relative to hydrogen versus matter density relative to photons. And of course we see helium-4 being the most abundant, then deuterium, then helium right under that, and then lithium is way down there at the bottom. Now, is it possible that these gases are up in the flat Earth cosmos? Of course, I have no issue with that. I expect these gases to be there, and I also expect hydrogen and helium probably to be the most abundant. I also expect that there's probably even new elements that we haven't discovered yet that are out there, as well as superfluids, possibly even new states of matter, and possibly new states of energy, or types of energy. So I'm not saying that everything they observe in the cosmos there, and everyone involved doing the observations, is in on the agenda to lie about the shape of the Earth. For most of these people, they're just taking their observations and trying to make them fit into the globe model. Alright, so next they say, to reconcile this issue, some cosmologists propose that lithium might be destroyed within stars in just the right quantities to mimic the observed trend. Yet every such hypothesis has faced significant contradictions from other observations. And this gets into another problem that I've talked about before, and that is when you construct a model based on pseudoscience, you box yourself in until you aren't able to move. It's like the liar who keeps telling lie after lie to cover up previous lies. Eventually you run out of wiggle room, and that path comes to an end. Despite ongoing efforts to publish papers on potential solutions, the problem has only worsened. The turning point came in late 2024, when a collaborative study involving researchers from Italy, France, and the United States delivered a decisive blow to the Big Bang hypothesis. Using the Very Large Telescope at the European Southern Observatory in Chile, the team recorded the spectra of SK-143, a bright star in the Small Magellanic Cloud, or SMC. Analyzing the absorption lines of interstellar material, they discovered that lithium abundance in the interstellar medium of the SMC was 4 times lower than the Big Bang theory predicts. This result is critical because the interstellar medium, which is the gas and plasma between stars, should not reduce lithium content. Stars can only add lithium through fusion processes. They cannot subtract it. Furthermore, the sparse gas in the interstellar medium is not dense enough for fusion reactions to significantly alter the lithium levels. Therefore, this finding directly contradicts the Big Bang's predictions. Statistically, the chances that this observation aligns with Big Bang predictions are about 1 in 300, hardly a reassuring confirmation. It instead suggests that the theory is overwhelmingly likely to be incorrect. So they've already had so many things not line up with the Big Bang model from previous observations that they weren't expecting this observation to line up at all either. Of course, the crazy thing is, if you ask mainstream scientists about all of this, they will still try to claim that, the Big Bang model is still very precise and explains everything in the universe perfectly well. It just needs a few minor tweaks, especially in those first few microseconds after the Big Bang, where any tiny little tweak could affect things in a huge way down the road. Or they'll tell you, that's how science works. That, of course, we don't have full understanding at this point, but that our understanding is getting better and better. Now, these last 2 paragraphs really surprised me in this article, because you usually don't see this kind of admission from an astronomy website. They say here, interestingly, these findings are consistent with the non-expanding universe hypothesis. Oh, you mean like one that you might find over a flat Earth? That kind of cosmos. Because, of course, if they get rid of the Big Bang in the expanding universe model, a lot of their excuses for many other observations quickly fall apart, such as redshifts, dark matter, dark energy, the gravity model itself, the cosmic microwave background, which is supposedly lingering radiation from the explosion of the Big Bang, the age of the universe, and many, many other things. This model predicts lithium production through cosmic rays interacting with carbon and oxygen nuclei, a process more prevalent in the galaxy's early, rapidly forming stages. Calculations based on these principles align well with the observed lithium levels, especially when considering that only around 40% of the gas in the Small Magellanic Cloud has formed stars, a factor that the Big Bang hypothesis fails to account for. It looks like we found another little problem with the Big Bang there that they kind of snuck in at the end of this article, and that is the amount of star formation that's happened in these galactic dust clouds. Maybe that will become my Flat Earth Proof 156. This precise agreement between predictions and observations offers strong support for the non-expanding universe model and underscores the necessity of reassessing long-held cosmological assumptions. Wow, you can say that again. But will mainstream scientists listen to that advice? No, they won't. They would rather die than give up the Big Bang and evolution. Because again, mainstream science has become a cult. It's not about finding truth. It's all about protecting their atheistic ideology at all costs. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.